Hello everybody, I'm Sonic Suns. It is May 30th, 2007, and I'm here to talk about legends, myths, and comic books. Because I was thinking about this recently. Anyway. I was thinking about how, you hear about the ancient Greek myths and ancient myths of practically everybody, various societies and everything. And I was wondering, do we have any of these in the present day? And my first thought was comic books, which of course, is a little simplistic. There are plenty of other things, plenty of other stories that happen outside of comic books, and things that could be considered collective myths and stuff. The interesting thing that happens with comic books, though, is you have a character, and you end up telling a whole bunch of stories about this character, which generally end up being contradictory. Which is just like the myths, isn't it? It's really just an idea that we're playing with rather than a set story. Like, you take Lord of the Rings or something, everyone knows what happens in Lord of the Rings because there's one story. There's one sequence of words that takes many pages. And so it doesn't quite have that same thing of being edited by the community, shall we say. Even though, of course, in this case, the community consists of paid writers and comic book illustrators, etc., etc. So, we have our myths, to a degree as it is, in these comic book heroes, which leads me into the comic book things I like most. Number one being Batman. Any Batman fans out there? What I always really loved about the guy was his devotion to what he was doing. Like, everyone's devoted, you might say. Superman is, yeah. See, but it's easy for Superman. He has powers. Batman doesn't have powers. And so, the fact that he manages everything becomes so much more amazing. It becomes what I call mythical reality, where it's like a myth, in the sense of he's, on the top of some building, his bat suit overlooking the edge, and maybe lightning strikes in the background, and someone sees this, oh crap, But it's reality in the idea that, okay, he must have climbed to the top of that building one way or the other, using a bat rope, or rode up on the top of an elevator, or something like that. If you see Superman doing a similar thing, right? And actually, there's a shot in Batman Begins I'm getting this off of, where he's on the building. That's my favorite shot in that movie. Anyway, Superman, if he's on top of a building, he flew. And it's not like he ever even needed to practice flying. He's Superman. He's like, ever since he was, 18 or something, his powers turned on. It's easy. It's too easy for him. So, with Batman stuff, with mythical reality, we see further into his character. We see that he must be really flipping devoted to do something that difficult. And this thing that difficult becomes like every day for him, So now you're really freaked out about the guy, about how much he cares. There's no way you're gonna dissuade him from his course once taken. I love how Batman, also having to work within the laws of physics and all that, had to be clever. I always liked cleverness. I always liked things. Sometimes they get it, where Batman and Superman will get into a fight for some controverted reason. Like, maybe there's one where Poison Ivy, hypnotized Superman. Anyway, but they're fighting, and of course Batman wins. Because he's just that smart, and he gets, he's got a kryptonite ring, and he's spying Superman a few times, and then Superman goes at him, and then he, throws some power lines into Superman's face, and then, he gets zapped by the whole collective energy of the city, and then eventually he's okay. All these clever things. And that's why I like it most when he does stuff with his environment. It makes it feel like on the fly. The bad side of Batman is when he just so happens to have whatever tool is necessary for the job. Pull out the anti-bad guy spray. That's the bad side of Batman. That's the crappy side.